Hello there, welcome to Lord of the Rings Realms in Exile. Currently one of my favourite mods for CK3, and I thought what better way to start the new year than to get lost in Middle-earth, fight the forces of evil, and maybe even restore the power in the Grey Mountains. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start a new game. We are not going to be playing as any of the bookmark characters. As I've already said, we are going to be playing in the Grey Mountains. Hopefully we can restore them and turn them into a rich kingdom once more. So we are starting all the way up here as good old Lord Gorin of Nordinbad, which many people don't know. He actually does have a unique quest line. It's not a very big one, but it's there nonetheless, so that will be very exciting to experience. As for the game rules, I'm going to put everything on default. I will be increasing the strength of Sauron. Let's go for Lord of the Earth. Against the power that has risen in the east, there is no victory. But you guys know me, I am stubborn as a dwarf. We will be victorious, I hope. AI colonization, I'm going to keep it on lore friendly this time. Let's try something a little bit new. As for everything else, I think, yes, female beards for dwarfs, 100% want those on. And this is something new. Well, it's not new, but it's new to me. Valinor intervention. So, the Middle-earth invasion will happen when 70% of Middle-earth is controlled by either Sauron or the Wilderness. I hope that we get to see this in play with Sauron on increased difficulty. We probably will. So we'll see how that affects things. As for the normal settings, I'm going to change plague frequency to very rare. And I'm also going to put legends to historical only. I think that will make it so only the lore legends that the devs have put in will spawn. I think I like it that way because legends, they seem to just be a bit too common for my liking. If everyone has a legend, then it's not really a legend, it's just a story, isn't it? It's normal. Anyway, I digress. Everything else is going to be stuck on the default settings. And without further ado, let us begin our grand new adventure in Middle-earth. And just like that, another adventure begins. I'm really excited for this series. I'm hoping that it will be a longer one and much content and story happens. Right, but before we get stuck in, we are playing as Isbad Gorin. We're 285 years of age. On average, Longbeards tend to live for 300 years, so we might be in our later years here. We are honest. Gorin values truth and sincerity highly. We are stubborn. Gorin does not back down for anything. But we are compassionate. Both merciful and sympathetic, Gorin is warm-hearted. We're an adequate bargainer, a patriarch, an Alcatar, and a little bit quick for a dwarf especially. We have good diplomacy. We have okay stewardship. Everything else is a little bit lacking though. So I'll tell you what. Let's actually start off with stewardship. And I think I will go for the 10% income, just because we're going to need to build. I mean, we have our one tiny holding over here in Nordinbad, and you know, there's not much going on. We do have a unique building. So we have Azan Zaram. The dwarven hold of Nordinbad was settled around the lakes of Azan Zaram, the beauty of which was ever its greatest treasure. Though Nordinbad was never wealthy in terms of gold and silver, the dwarves who lived there were content with the stunning beauty of Azan Zaram, holding it as sacred as the dwarves of Khazad-dûm held the Mirror. Ooh, so no matter what, we must not lose Nordinbad. This will be our glorious capital in the future, which hopefully will be flowing with gold and jewels and all the other riches we need to build an army and survive the darkness. We do start with excavation pits, so that makes buildings cheaper to build. That's nice. And we do start with wrought gold, which gives us a bit of tax income as well. We don't have a mine of any kind, which I guess we're going to have to prospect for. The expedition? No. Mining expedition. And then I think we can prospect this way. However, I'm also going to want to colonize Grey Delve, which we'll see in a minute. Anyway, before I get into this, what are my plans for this playthrough? Now, obviously, I want to conquer or reform the Grey Mountains, bring them back. You know, 400 years ago, the dragons came from the north. Most of the dwarfs fled, but not I. I will not flee from any dragon or orc or goblin. I stayed and I fought. And I will replenish the Grey Mountains, make it a rich stronghold for the dwarfs. And then after that, of course, we're going to have to deal with the threatening Gundabad. We must take back Gundabad, the birthplace of the dwarfs. And then I may even go westwards, all the way to Khadun. I hear there are forces brewing in the north, and we must secure this stronghold to make sure none arrive. After that, I think I'm also going to try and reclaim the Misty Mountains, and new in the beta as well, maybe even try and establish a foothold in the White Mountains. And then of course will come the big fight against Sauron and all of the forces of evil. Hopefully my cousins in the Iron Mountains and in the Blue Mountains will still be alive as well. But this is all stuff for the long term. Right, I have an available Dynasty Legacy. I'm going to go for the one that has the flavor, so we're going to stick to the Khazad legacy here, cultivating the unique gifts and traditions of the Khazad, the Children of Uller. So we can get Children of the Father, gives us Dynasty Opinion plus 10, and same heritage personal scheme success chance plus 10% as well. Sounds very lovely. What else can we get here? We can get Diplomatic range. I think that's important because we're currently out of range with our cousins in the Blue Mountains, which I would like to get alliances with them. Different culture opinion plus 5. We can learn more languages. And the phase length is shorter as well. Then we can get Dwarven Might. So Accolade Glory Gain plus 10%. We also get advantage in Subterranean, which is useful. And our heavy infantry get a buff to their damage and toughness. Sons of Mahal gives us more monthly crafting lifestyle experience. And we get more experience for Hewer, Prospector, Weaponsmith, and Armorsmith traits. Of course, we have our unique learning focuses as well, which I'm sure we will do at some point. And mining success chance plus 10% too. And then lastly, Riches of the Earth, resource mine buildings give us 25% more gold income, which is, that's kind of insane. I would love to get this, but that's going to be a longer term thing for sure. In terms of our culture, we are of a Longbeard culture. So the House of Dwarfs descended from Durin the Deathless. The Longbeards are the most noble and powerful of the houses of the Dwarves. Their mansions traditionally were in Khazad-dûm in the Misty Mountains, and they have ever been on the side of the Free Peoples. They had a fierce and abiding friendship with the Noldor of Eregion, while that realm lasted. They also established the Longbeard realms of the Grey Mountains, Erebor, the Blue Mountains, and of course the Iron Hills. The Longbeards fought against Sauron in the War of the Elves and Sauron, the War of the Last Alliance, and then the one that we are going to be fighting in, the War of the Ring. In terms of our culture, we are stoic, so we do get disease resistance, we gain less stress, friendly fatal casualties minus 15% is all very nice as well, and we do gain defender advantage. Also on a side note, first episode will be an hour long because you guys know me, I like to read through everything so we can get immersed, so do not worry about that. We have Longbeard heritage, so all Longbeard characters gain more prowess. Fertility drops a little bit, but we get a health boost. We are a godlike boost resistance to diseases, which is very nice. Levies deal more damage and toughness. Life expectancy plus 190. Basically, we live for about 300 years, as I've already said. And we get some really nice plague resistance, and danger in hills, mountains, and subterranean is much lower. Martial is men only. We do speak West Strong, and there's our aesthetics there. So, as for our traditions, we can have one more. Will I diverge culture in this run? That is a possibility because we are kind of isolated in the Grey Mountains. Maybe that's something we can do in the long run. If you guys have any ideas of what you would add to this, then let me know in the comments. Speaking of which, name suggestions are also back as well, so you guys know the drill. Leave me one name for a daughter, one name for a son, and an education focus. And keep the names Dwarven themed for this one, I think. I want to stay lore friendly. And of course, priority will be given to channel members. Anyway, back to the traditions. Industrious. Gain 25 development growth when building is constructed up to once a year. Okay, so quarter of a development. The watermills and windmills line of buildings can be constructed one era early. You guys know me. I love my windmills, so that makes me very happy. We gain more stress, but buildings take less time to build, but they're also more expensive. We have storytellers. Guardians of this culture are more effective. Characters tell each other stories, increasing their skills. Ooh. Oh, that's cool. But obviously, scheme secrecy goes down and then legend spread chance goes up, which is nice. We have esteemed hospitality. Rulers are less likely to have courtiers and guests join hostile schemes against them. Guest recruitment cost minus 20%. Court position salary cost minus 20%. That's nice because I love court positions being filled. Characters of this culture are more willing to send away, take, and return hostages. And then all Longbeard characters gain courtier and guest opinion plus 10, and personal scheme success chance plus 5%. We have mountain homes. The quarry liner buildings have additional bonus. We gain prestige when completing buildings in holdings with either mountain or desert mountain terrain. We get increased hunt success chance in mountains. All Longbeard characters, even less danger in mountains, so that makes sense because we're going to have to travel through them a lot. And then all Longbeard counties, we get more development growth. And construction cost is cheaper everywhere as well. Lovely stuff. Then we have mining further. Delay between mining expeditions activities, minus 50%. Nice. Characters gain minor trait more often, and minor trait is seen as prestigious. Development growth is increased everywhere again too. And then lastly, we have legendary artisans. Artisans and smiths are incredibly gifted. So all Longbeard characters gain 10% night effectiveness. Artifacts decay slower. And we get more crafting lifestyle experience as well. I appreciate that's a bit lengthy to read through, but now that I've done it once, we don't have to do it again. And I think it is good just to know where our flavor is and all of that. Next, we also have the Khazad faith. So, the ancient faith of the Dwarves, revolving around the worship of Mahaul, their creator and father. They also deeply revere their history and family honor, taking care to observe their ancestors, making grand tombs and funeral mausoleums, returning themselves to the earth whence they were born. The Dwarves hold that Mahaul gathers them in the halls, apart after death, awaiting the final battle, after which they shall rebuild the world by his side, their place among the children of Iluvatar secured. Very cool stuff. So what does this give us? We have communal identity, conversion speed in counties of my culture plus 50%, promote culture speed in counties of my faith plus 50%, and conversion speed in counties of a different culture minus 50%. So we're going to want to spread our culture and then spread the faith, basically, if we do expand outside of mountains. We also have ancestor worship, prestige from level of splendor for newborns plus 100%, prestige from level of splendor when getting married plus 100%, a maximum long reign opinion bonus plus 50%. With how long we live, that's going to be very nice. And close family like us a little bit more as well. And then we have primacy of Ule. Completing a mining expedition gives us piety. Minor traits are also pious. And all Khazad gain stewardship and learning. Sins, we just have deceitful and craven. And of virtues, we have diligent, brave, just. And of course, minor. We are male dominated. Divorce is disallowed. We can only have one wife. In terms of crime, same-sex relations, they're only shunned. Deviancy is criminal. Adultery of both genders is criminal. And witchcraft is only shunned, which is interesting. What's this? Some of this stuff is new, right? We have stoic burials. The funeral activity offers more opportunities to gain piety. Ooh. Our clergy can marry. They also can serve as commanders and knights, gaining prowess and popular opinion. Any gender can serve in the clergy, and we can appoint our realm priest, and they can be fired and replaced at any time. Okay, lovely stuff. And then we have teachings of the wise. Much to our sorrow, much of the world remains in the dark, ignorant of the truth of the powers and the righteous order of the world. However, with patient and a gentle hand, we might guide those willing out of darkness into the light, as Orome led the Eldar from Suivianen to Valinor when the world was young. Apparently, pronunciation is still going to be a struggle this year, which I'm not surprised. Holy sites. So we need to take back Khaled Zaram. This is in Moria, I believe. And then we have Khazad Doom as well, of course, is in Moria. We have Mazalabakan, which is in, is that Gundabad? Yes. And then Zelimabakanan. Oh, bloody hell. That's all over in the west of the Blue Mountains. Right, we'll try our best to get those. Right. all of the flavor has been read. Let us unpause before we do anything, because we do have just a small quest line which I would like to get started on. The Lord of Nordinbad. Ever since the days of Gorin's great-grandsire, dwarves have dwelled in Nordinbad. Though the hoard was never rich in terms of gold and silver, of iron it has plenty, and its beauty is worth more than any mountain of gold, carefully nurtured and enhanced by the faithful dwarfs. While many other dwarf holds in the Grey Mountains were consumed in dragonfire, the lack of conventional wealth steered the devastation away from Nordinbad's peaceful halls, and the lords therein offered shelter to many survivors for a time. The beauty of Azan-Zaram shall endure. Indeed it will. We do have a few more events as well. I think we have this one and then one more. So the children of Mahal. I was born among the children of Mahal, adopted children of Eru, the steadfast dwarfs. Our father shaped us in dark times, and as such we are hardier than men, and more resistant to illness and corruption. We are long-lived and slow to bloom. We consider our youths to be no more than children until the majority at 40, and when it is inappropriate, it's inappropriate to marry before the age of 70. So, when they're 40, they're adults, and when they're 70, they can marry. Quite a lengthy time. Dwarfs of both genders wear beards since birth, and a dwarf without a beard is the object of much shame and mockery. Kuzdul, our sacred language devised by the Maker himself, is never spoken in front of non-dwarves and reserved for ancient lore and solemn gatherings. In everyday life, we adopt the language of our closest neighbors and business partners. Though we do not fear the sun like the orcs, we are most comfortable beneath the ground, where we carve holes in the living rock. Many of our ancestral homes have been destroyed, and now is the time to reclaim them. Barak Kazad, Kazad, Al-Menu. Our journey has officially begun. I do think we get one more event. No, I have to do it. So, we can reach out to Erebor, but to do that, I need to first colonize the wilderness of Grey Delves. So, let's go ahead and do that. It's going to cost us 75 gold. They have slightly changed how colonization works as well, so we'll get to see that in practice. I don't have much gold, but you know, I think the way I'm going to gain gold initially is probably taking out our goblin neighbors here and just trying to get as much of the Grey Mountains as possible. And there we go. We can now reach out to Erebor. The Grey Mountains are not a realm for the faint of heart, with all the drakes and goblins infesting it now. That was why most of our long-beard kin fled south to the Lonely Mountain. We, however, were unwilling to leave Azan-Zaram, and by our lack of material wealth, we managed to avoid the wrath of the dragons. But now the great drakes are gone, and Erebor still stands while we remain alone in the Ered Mithrin. The House of Gorin has always sworn true fealty to Erebor, and with our newfound access to the surface, perhaps we can contact our long-lost kin. Ered Mithrin, I believe that is the dwarven name for the Grey Mountains, right? I do believe so. So let's call the emissary. We must reach out to Erebor and inform that there are still dwarfs in the Grey Mountains. It doesn't take long for the emissary to arrive before me and present himself. Our years of isolation, it seemed, were coming to an end as the hopes of Nordinbad rested on the shoulders of this emissary. It had been so long since we had any contact with our cousins in Erebor, and the Iron Hills, that we wonder what tales they might have for us from the Lonely Mountain. Still, there are some doubts. While we have always claimed to swear fealty to the House of Durin, in practice we have not for hundreds of years now. Some question whether we really should ask for help, when we know that the cost will be a renewal of those oaths of fealty. As Lord of Nordinbad, the decision ultimately falls to me, and with the emissary now before me, it is time to choose. I will send the emissary. We are loyal to the House of Durin. Dwarfs will not betray dwarfs. We will stand together strong. Well, of course, I keep my claim to the Grey Mountains, so that must be respected. And I do think we have to wait a little bit for them to return. So, now that things have kind of begun in motion, let's do all of the normal stuff. Actually, before I do that, I forgot one of the most important things. Bring me my armor. Wait. Dwarven armor? Steel, there we go. Bring me my armor. I'm not going to wear a helmet because I'm not currently in war. But, I love the 3D models in this. I also don't have a wife, so probably picking a wife who would give me very good stewardship could be a good idea. I could also marry for traits. That's something I very rarely do, but we're going to have so few children. And, you know, the Sauron is going to be very strong. I have heard rumors of a growing evil in the east, in the south, in the north. I need to make sure my children are strong. So Fecund probably doesn't matter too much because I think it's locked to have 3 or 4 children anyway. So let's marry Lawmaster Builder here. She has a little bit of stewardship, but she is comely as well. Hopefully our children will be nice. Speaking of children, my son Nordri here, he could also marry, and he is robust. Maybe I should have married my son off to you instead. Oh, damn it. Okay, it's fine. Fecund would just have to do. You have 10 stewardship, so that will help him. Let's send that off. And then I do have a daughter here. Can I marry you off for a good alliance? I can. So we could get an alliance with Clan Argan. They are in the east of the Iron Mountains. They may be able to help us. Your son is melancholic, though. What about you guys? House Duin, of course. They are stronger. My daughter could marry a Duin. I think that's a good idea. Let's go ahead and send off that proposal. What else do I need to do? First, let's go ahead and marry off all of the single ladies. So my sister-in-law here. I think we need to get in some dwarfs that are very good at fighting. We must recruit for the wars ahead of us. My daughter already there. Oh, my niece can marry as well. Okay, I think I will marry you off for a strong knight too. How strong are we talking? 17 prowess. 19 prowess. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. And then in terms of court positions, I'm going to want a good steward. However, I just married everyone off good knights. So I guess we'll have to deal with that. Let's go ahead and increase the development. We are going to be playing for quite a bit, so that makes sense. Doesn't this have to go up to level 3? I think so. Let's increase development there first. Foreign affairs, you can train the commanders. You can disrupt schemes. Maybe what I could do here is find, let's see, my steward and knight. Find someone who can be a good spy master. Gamil here will become my new spy master. My nephew, you can't marry. My lawmaster, you can't marry as well. Okay. Right. In terms of lawmasters, you are the best that we have. Okay. We will wait for the marriages. And then we will make our first accolade. Which, of course, guys, feel free to leave your accolade name suggestions in the comments as well. I will need them. I lost some legitimacy because I married a lowborn. That's okay. That's okay. And, of course, we're going to be doing a lot of colonization, so I might speed 5 in the earlier part of this series, but I will slow down as well and play at my own speed as I usually do. Right, all the marriages are now sent off. So we have pretty good champions. Let's go ahead and create a new accolade. My player Aaron's son has the Vanguard trait, which would buff heavy infantry. He's also a tactician. Yes. Truest of the Retinue is a terrible name. Let's find a successor. You guys, I want a name that is heavy infantry and dwarven themed. And I will pick my favorite out of all of the suggestions. We can already declare war. I can station men-at-arms. So we start with some Kraban Asgif. Quite nice stats. They are skirmishers, so they counter heavy infantry and monsters. Let's go ahead and stick you in the capital. Very nice buffs. Later on, so let's see. We have Higem Finbin. 254 gold. But look at the stats. That's crazy. We have Sijin Baruch. That's going to be our heavy infantry. We have Clefufer. Some spearmen. And then Zirin Shaffer. which are our archers as well. We're going to want all of these, but it's going to take some time. We don't have much gold right now. These are all things we can work on. In terms of decisions, I think we've caught up there. Right. Now we kind of just wait for the emissary to return. And then hopefully we have good news from Erebor. Let's go ahead and put you as my spy master as well. I could also... Here, wife. Let's manage the domain together. And then I'm also going to try and romance you. I haven't done much of the news scheme stuff yet, but it has 95% chance. I think this will be fine. Takes a year. The time has come to let my feelings towards Lady Builder be known. I want her to remember this day for the rest of her life. Let's just go with our gut in the moment. I recruit one of my most senior soldiers and practice with him for 3 days straight. Once he deems me ready, we head together to the main courtyard. As we begin to spar, a crowd gathers, and their cheers soon draw none other than the enchanting Lady Builder. The soldiers fight valiantly, but I disarm him with a final, flawless thrust. I kneel before Builder and declare my noble intentions. I dedicate this victory to you, Lady Builder. Bringing you honor is my only desire. My morsel is speechless, but clearly flattered. Why else would she be smiling fuzzily? She won't resist my charms for long, lads. Right, how strong are you? 1100. They have a lot of men-at-arms, but they're not that strong. My only worry is I don't have a lot of men. And this has a it only has a garrison of 148, and I do have allies. So maybe I can already fight them. And there we go. Erebor sends aid. These past few weeks have had me sitting at the edge of my seat as I wait for the emissary to return from Erebor. My imagination is running wild with ideas on what could have happened to them, and why they may not have returned. Each day I question if I should send another, yet each day I convince myself to just wait a little while longer. And finally my patience is given an answer as my emissary finally returns. I can't guess the outcome of this quest by his expression, as he seemed to be worn out from his journey. But soon enough I'm given the answer. Erebor is willing to assist us in our reclamation, so long as we offer an oath to swear fealty upon the completion of our quest. When we accept, a small army of warriors from Erebor would immediately come to assist us with our endeavor. And it is an oath that we shall swear. We get a pressed claim on the High Lordship of Greyspine. We get an army of 500 men. And we gain Longbeard migration for 20 years. Development growth plus 0.25 a month. Very nice stuff. Do we have any more decisions? No. I mean, we can adopt centralized administration. I don't know if we're ever going to do that. I actually haven't played with the new administration stuff. But very cool. Right. This is a dragon territory. So we should probably try and get rid of the dragons. That's going to take 4 years. I can't build anything here because I don't have gold. But what we do now have is 160 more Kraban Asgif and 500 volunteers. Let us start exterminating the filth in the Grey Mountains. Captain Cool, the broken shield. It is time for you to meet my axe. We can only do a holy war, but that's fine because we're not going to spend too much piety and stuff. Other goblins of his faith or orcs of his faith can join, which is a little bit worrying, but the war must be declared. I will call on my ally. I'm not sure if we'll need him, but just in case. Right, well, I'm going to put another rally point down because this one seems to be kind of hidden behind the name for some reason. Let's raise everyone, and who will serve as the brave commander? My steward. He is reckless. The holy warrior. Actually, you don't have very good advantage. My player Aaron's son is actually the best. So, do you know what? He's going to lead the army to destroy the orcs on our border. Of course, I should join you in this war. Excellent stuff. Let us march together. At the very least, they can help me siege. Travel time seems very slow here. Where is it? Movement speed? Yeah, it's only 25%, so 4 times slower. So I'm going to 4 times speed here, and then when the battle starts, I'll slow it down a bit. You guys know me, I like to play a little bit slow around here. It's how I enjoy CK3. We do not have the advantage. However, what we do have is Dwarven drive and motivation. And apparently my counselor just died. He was slain in battle. Oh no. Oh, that's a terrible start. Of course, if we capture orcs in battle, we automatically execute them as well. We had 69 deaths, we killed 300. But sadly, we lost Brockir Silverbeard. He was our steward. He fought bravely, and we will remember his valiant efforts. Aquahill, you are going to be my new steward. Please do a good job. I now have a worthy successor to this as well. So Yaki, you're going to serve as the successor. And for once, I actually have no suggestions. Holy crap. That is a miracle, isn't it, to be seen. So this is going to take 12 months. I don't have any siege equipment. Maybe our first investment should be some siege equipment. Lady Builder comes to me in the dark of the night, feverish and pale. I have had dreams, she says, where I find myself in a field of death. I saw a great dark wave climbing over the green lands and above the hills. The shadow of the Dark Lord covered all lands, and all that was once good and green in the world was lost. Our cities were razed, our castles burned, our people slain or dragged away to a fate unknown. Dear husband, please listen. It is no ordinary sickness that assails me. I fear that my dreams are true, that these things will come to pass. Please, do not let them. You must save Middle-earth. My wife. Ooh. So you get foreboding visions of the future. But I gain frightened by portents. But you know what? I am a caring dwarf. If my wife needs help, I will lend her an ear. Come, tell me more of your visions, my wife. You are not alone. I will protect Middle-earth. Like my life depends on it. Well, technically my life does actually kind of depend on it. So, my allies are arriving from the east. This makes me very happy. Let's speed 5. Speed 5 is very fast now because I upgraded my PC. So, we won't do it too long. But it will help us every now and then. Right, we've got 28 gold. We've won the war. But first, we have an intruder. Every time I close my eyes, I see Lady Builder's face. Sleep will not come. I cannot wait another moment. Cloaked in shadows, I make my way to the garden outside her living quarters. The sight of Builder's chamber window makes my heart stutter. So close and yet so far. But wait, who is that climbing up the tower? The shady figure stops by Builder's window and unlatches the shutters. My sweetness is in danger. I must save her. The sound from the struggle above is the greatest motivator I have ever known. Without care for life or limb, I hoist myself through Lady Builder's window. I feel as if I have plunged into a frozen lake. Builder is on the floor, the intruder pushing her down, a gleaming blade between them. With a roar, I grab the villain by the collar and throw him into the wall. The rest is a blur. When the danger is over, I turn towards her. Builder, are you alright? I ask cautiously, as if my words were a spell. She finally unfreezes and throws herself into my arms. Thank Mahal you are here, Gorin. I will never let you get into harm's way again. This disgusting orc invaded our mountain. And now, I have become soulmates with my wife. Let's go ahead and enforce our demands. The war has been won. Very easily, I may add as well. To the vile Isbad Gorin, may your hubris rot in your living body. You are much greater foe than I imagined. In order to put an end to this bloodshed, I will comply with your demands. My voice is a little bit sore, so my impressions are not going to be as extreme as normal. I can already create the High Lordship. The problem is I don't have 200 gold. Oh, no. And I have a disabled building as well because this is, it's an orc version of the building. Oh, dear. Right, how's control looking? I should probably get started on that. Wait, I need to pause. There we go. Unpause, sorry. I'm also going to increase crown authority whilst we have the prestige. Yes. And who's going to be my successor? Let's see. Succession score. My son. And I'm going to put you on field of coffers. Lovely. Right, I think we're organized. I'm not going to abuse the colony limit, so I don't think you get punished for going over it. I don't know if they changed that, but I'm not going to abuse it anyway. Good news. My wife is now officially pregnant. I knew that getting older would mean doing everything slower, but I didn't think it would all come to a halt until my death. Lately, I feel a constant malice, and everything takes more effort than before. I am worried that if I lay down, I might not be able to get up again. There is no doubt that my time is running out. I feel like I can do naught but to await death's sweet embrace to claim me. How long will I have to wait? My bones are getting old. I am aching after the recent battles. I have become infirm. Will we die in the first episode? My health is still fine, apparently. But now that I'm infirm, I can't actually do a... I can't go prospecting. I don't think... Yeah, because I'm infirm. So that's a little bit disappointing. However, I can spend that gold to... over here, maybe. So if I wanted to... Let's see, just make a little bit of income. Dwarven terrace farms are a thing. I could just build the craft guilds as well, although they're more expensive. Alternatively, I could invest a little bit more in Nordinbad too. Or we can save the gold. Because we still need to colonize this, so I can declare war on these guys. But not just that. I'm also going to need money when my son takes over, so that I can do prospecting. Because if we can get gems in all of these holdings, we could build mines, and then we'll make a lot of money. Right. I have a son. I will call him Farley for now. However, when I read your guys' name suggestions, I will change this. Depending on when this goes live. Let's go ahead and pin him. So, my player heir is martial focused. Farley, I am going to raise you to be a steward. I need to make sure that there's someone to look after the realm's witches. Riches, not witches, when I am gone. I think it's actually better my steward to change you, because he has 25 learning, which is insane. So let's go ahead and do that. And I will speed 5 for just a little bit. 250 piety, lovely stuff. As additional payment in a recent trade, I find myself in possession of a large herd of cattle. I have been assured that the animals are of the highest quality, but the question of what should be done with them remains. So I could gain more development growth in the capital. I could gain either more development growth, or I could gain 50 gold. 50 gold's not too much. I mean, it is right now, but I think... Let's see. I think for 15 years, just take the 10% development growth. That sounds like a good idea. I can actually declare war? Oh, the goblins have colonized. Okay. But if I take this colony... Wait, is it a colony? Yes, this is just a colony. I can't take this because then I would be over my colony limit. So we must wait for this. I do think we can get random events, which lets us change this from a colony to a delving. The latest progress reports from the settlement in Grey Delve have arrived. As I begin to review them, it becomes clear that the workers have been making an astonishing amount of progress, and have in fact finished building up the colony very far ahead of schedule. This means that the holding in Grey Delve has been completed through a combination of luck and lack of interruptions. Wait, I was just speaking about this. Well, this is excellent news. So wait, is this not a colony anymore? No, it's a delving. Wait, but it still says I have a colony? Wait, delving? Delving? Ongoing colonies. Yeah, this is no longer a colony. This is amazing news. And my daughter-in-law has just given birth to 2 bloody sons. Right. Let's see. So... Wait, is that my... Oh, that's my son and heir. Oh, guys. We have lots of children to name. I need your suggestions quick. Well, for now, I'm going to call them Nordri and Hor. And let's see. I think one of you should go Marshal. Yes. And then we'll educate you this way. Lovely stuff. And then the other son is going to go Stewardship. Do you know, this series, I might pick the educations myself. We'll see, we'll see. Because it depends how many children we have. before this video goes live. Right, I can host a grand tournament. I'm not going to do that because, one, I only have 100 gold and I can think of many better ways to spend that. But the fact that this is now... So let's see. 0 development 2. Let's wait for the development to finish. We are about to get raided. So let's raise our armies. And we will deal with them swiftly. Yeah, now the development's finished, I'm actually going to shift you over to increasing the capital. And I wonder how long before the colony thing gets removed. Yeah, I know I'm being raided. My son is about to deal with them. I could have just raised in the capital, actually, I realized. But too bad. Oh, we have good advantage. And for some reason, my second monitor just turned off. Hopefully, OBS is still fine. How did we do? We lost 0. And we absolutely slaughtered the enemy. Oh, man. Oh, that feels good. Right, let's let them disappear. It's 100 gold. It is my right and responsibility to determine what coinage is to be used throughout all of Nordinbad. The choices I make will determine how the coinage, and by extension my realm, is seen throughout the world. So I could get more development growth. Or, I could try and get 50 gold. And we get development growth as well. But let's try it. I lose a little bit of prestige. But I gain gold. And even a stewardship perk as well. Let's see. Buildings are cheaper and they're quicker to build. Yes, cutting cornerstones. I like that. And then, so Grey Delve, I can now build in Grey Delve. Now, obviously, I want to build quarries because it makes buildings cheaper. But right now, I just need gold. So, I could build a terrace farm. Terrace farms could be good. But can I also build a terrace farm in Nordinbad? And that's, yes, I can. And that's where we are going to obviously build up the majority of our gold. Okay. But the fungal farms are so much cheaper. And also do the same. I could get fungal farms everywhere first. So for 138 gold, I can get 0.4. Or for 102, I can get 0.3. It's interesting. Obviously, though, long-term fungal farms probably not the best. Yeah, I'm going to think long-term. Let's get the Dwarven Terrace farms first. That should help us a little bit. I can disband you guys now. No, not yet. There we go. That should help the income recover a little bit. And we'll start building stuff in Grey Delve as well. Gold is going to be a bit of a struggle, but it's fine. And I'll tell you what. Yeah, this colony thing still hasn't resolved itself. Maybe it's a bug. I am playing the beta version of the mod, so it's hard to know. We have mismanaged population in Nordinbad. That's not great. Can I get rid of that? I can. It's going to take 9 months. And we can now... yeah, we have low county control. That's fine. Do you know what? I'm going to declare war on them. They are even weaker than our previous enemy. I have the piety. Let us take back our encampment. I don't want any dwarfs. Any goblins here. Right, I can't... okay. This is a little bit annoying. There's no way for me to click on that, is there? Unless... I could do it this way. Okay, let's raise everyone here. And of course, my son will be leading the dwarfs to battle as well. I can call on an ally. Do I need it? The garrison here is only 100. That's 750. So I'll tell you what, I will actually call on my ally. Because I might need help sieging this if I lose a few dwarfs. Of course, I should join you in this war. Our foes shall learn to fear the men of Exile Nullinbar. Excellent. Join me in the mountains, my cousin. Let us slay the orcs together. 6 months siege without siege equipment is not too bad. Especially if I speed 5 it, and now it's already done. Architectural expertise. My wife has gained some stewardship. Lovely. Excuse me. I just ate before recording. I'm sorry, guys. And I am now known as the Feeble. After my great stubbornness and heroic deeds. Not fleeing from the dragons. And now everyone calls me Feeble. Ugh. They call you Gorin the Feeble. What is this? Why does no one respect me? Oh, you finished increasing control? And I have finished the war. Lovely stuff. So nicely. New colonists have arrived? So as soon as we take it, the faith and culture converts as well. Lovely. That saves time. And it seems like my colony holdings have not increased. But this is a colony. Yes. Okay. I mean, at least it's not increased, so that's fine. We're not going to get punished or anything. In terms of control, Grey Delve is good. Let's improve control over here. We'll start building up that eventually. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to put another rally point just over there on the edge of our realm. Wild Orcs have been defeated. Okay, so next we must fix the collapsed ceilings. That's going to take 10 years. Holy crap. It's fine though. I'm willing to speed 5 in this playthrough, which is something I've rarely done before because there's going to be a lot of building up to begin with. And I didn't expect it, but we've almost taken Grey Pine in the first episode. How long is the truce? 5 years. We might even take it this episode, because I have to wait 10 bloody years for this. Oh man. What is this? Inflation? My treasury is brimming with gold and silver, and all expenses are cared for. As a wealthy lord, I am expected to offer patronage to some kind of artist or scholar. As luck would have it, 3 potential candidates just arrived in Nordibad. But do any of them impress me? I don't want to spend gold on this. I have other plans for the money. Mostly building some dwarven terraces. 119 gold they cost. County corruption in Ulsugnula. I mean, that's our new colony, so I will ignore it. There's some wars going on down in the south of us. And I have a new event. Oh, look at the art. The art for this is bloody beautiful. Lapis lazuli, the precious blue stone valued since ancient times. It is rather rare in these parts, and only really as artistic and decorative applications, so when some is found, it is often used as a gift to the ruler. A group of local dwarves has come to present me some as a gift. Oh, thank you very much. I greatly appreciate your generosity. We used to get like gems and stuff here. I don't have any artifacts. Of course, we can craft artifacts. That will come later when I'm much richer. Speaking of riches, let us go ahead and build another dwarven terrace farm. I know I should be building quarries, but at the moment, I just need to get some initial gold income, and then we'll start building all of the quarries and stuff. Right, root excavations have been built. My stewardship has increased. Let's get professional workforce, so minus 30% building time. That should also help the reinforced ceilings. And we will continue to speed 5. Colony is getting more stuff. Wait. Nordinbad slowed down construction. Okay. I'm not a fan of that, but I can't get rid of it either. Okay, that kind of sucks. My son has learned the Caradunaic language. Caradunaic, the language of the former southern colonies of Numenor, such as the realms of Fani Hazad and Tantarek, considered the most conservative dialect of Adunaic, due to the high amount of archaic vocabulary that had fallen out of favour in Numenor by the late Second Age. Caradunaic, however, could also not escape minor southern Apasaic influence, mostly in An Balcumaga. Interesting. Martial guidance for 5 years. We now have root excavations over here too. So that's going to boost the income. I could also get some fungal farms. 84 here. Bloody... That's because of this. Construction cost plus 20%. Let's hold off on that thing, because gold is very important for me right now. What I can do instead... Yeah, 122. You've improved control. Is I can swap out the slave mines, because we don't have slaves here. And let's get some dwarven terrace farms instead. Oh, I'm missing 30 gold. We have marauding orc drags until 3026, which makes buildings, you don't get as much tax income. Okay. In that case, maybe I go for the craft guilds next over here. Could be possible. My wife is pregnant once more as well. Very nice stuff. Or I could build up in Nordinbad. I can get myself the fungal farm at least, or we can upgrade the delving. That doesn't give so much. I'll tell you what, we'll get the fungal farm in Nordinbad because the development will give us more taxes. And then we can start prioritizing our gold a little bit more. Right, another son. For now, you will be called Fane, but I will rename you. I already have a son. My son in there is Marshal. My second son is Steward, so you're going to be Marshal as well. You will be in charge one day of leading the armies in the Grey Mountains. In fact, your brother, your older brother, he's only like 100 years older than you or something. He will be in charge of you. Let's also go ahead and get ourselves some, let's see, 0.3, 0.2. Let's get ourselves some mangonels as well, some basic siege equipment. And we'll put you guys over there. Lovely stuff. We got another stewardship perk as well. Time is flying. We're already 10 years into the game. One morning, as I am getting ready to face the day, my son Farley approaches me. Father, we found this while exploring the castle yesterday. You should have it. He hands over a small tattered coin pouch. It makes a jingling sound. Ah, thank you, Farley. That is very much appreciated. Development growth in the realm capital plus 0.3. Yes, let's do that. I want to get that development up as fast as possible. We're gaining 3.5 a month. That's not too bad, I guess. But definitely want to max out development if we're going to build up the capital. Which, I'm a dwarf. Of course I'm going to build up my capital. Right, we no longer have a treaty. And this is not a colony. So we can take the final hold in Grey Pine. Let us do it. I said that we might take all of the Grey Pine in the first episode. And it looks like. But this is actually going to be the case. Which is very nice. My son will lead them. Now, unfortunately, we already know the garrison is high. So I will have to call on my allies in order to get the siege off. It says we don't have advantage. But I don't believe that. I think my son can crush these armies. We do not bow down or retreat from such vile beasts. In the rugged outlands of Usluk Nula, the authority of my rule is weak at best. Our infrastructure is minimal and primarily devoted to keeping my colony afloat. As a result, those of disrepute often find their way under false names, avoiding justice and the consequences of their previous ill deeds. The self-proclaimed free men who live wild and free answer to none. Might sound romantic and even attractive, but it is largely a mirage, covering up dastardly deeds and cruel acts. The frontier all too often becomes a haven of brigands and bandits, and so too has it come to be here. It gets bandit country, which is going to take another bloody 10 years to remove. Right, we have fungal farms. Is there anything else I want to build for gold? I don't think so. No. We're going to have other buildings to build there in the future. Especially once we do some prospecting and find some gems. Right, my son. Nordri. I will watch you defeat the orcs. Minus 56 advantage. But the dwarves are elite. We stand strong and face evil head on. Oh, that's not looking so good. We're running out of numbers. Okay. Okay. It looked a bit worrying for a moment. But we absolutely crushed them. We lost 200. Oh, they also lost 200. That was actually much closer than I thought it would be. Who did all the work? They're knights. So they have some very, very strong orcs fighting for them. Luckily, I didn't lose any champions, though. We do have just enough to siege. Although a few months, and I guess that won't be the case. If we speed that up a little bit. There we go. My allies have just arrived in the east. Reinforced ceilings have now been put in. Let's get rid of the bandits. That's going to take us 16 months. Much better than 10 years. Wait, are you not going to help me siege? Oh, they're going to fight them, I think, right? No, they're not going to help me siege. Okay, if I go... Let's see. If I retreat, will the AI siege instead? Because otherwise we're going to lose because we're not controlling the war objective. More stewardship, more gold, lovely stuff. Aha, there we go. Now the AI go into siege. And look at that. I have a daughter. Right, I'll call you Nally for now, but I will rename you. Don't you worry. I got a tutorial. Maximum perk bonus reached. Ooh. Wait there, my daughter. I'm going to put you on Intrigue. And we'll have you trained up. There we go. Gamil, my spy master. We'll train you. Maximum perk level. So what's that for? Huh. I don't actually know. But my health is poor and ailing as well. So we got to be a bit cautious of that. I'm going to start saving a little bit of gold for prospecting. I will let you guys siege this, because I feel like if I join in, then you're probably going to run away. Although, let's see. If I join in now, will you guys run away? No. Okay. They just needed to start. What day is it? How long have I been resting this time? I find myself searching the faces of my frequent visitors for any indication, wrinkles or scars. Anything to serve as proof that time still passes. Somehow, the interactions I have with others feel like they're talking at me, not to me. Am I still me? Or a soul removed from my body? Am I living? Or just merely existing? My existence is torture. I have become melancholic in my later years. But good news. My son has defeated the orcs. And the Grey Pine Mountains are now fully under control of Clan Gorin. I just want to take a look at our family tree as well. I don't think it goes too back. Yeah, we have Gorin here. And then us here. Oh, we are expanding quickly, though. Which is good news. How's your tree? Oh, your tree died out. Oh, it's sad times. We are somewhat distant cousins, though. I mean, it makes sense, actually, because you go back to the 7 Dwarf Lords, right? So, all dwarfs are my cousins, anyway. But, guys, I am going to leave it there for the first episode. It looks like Mordor have expanded a little bit. They are fighting and losing again, so I don't think they're going to lose that for very long. In the coming episodes, I imagine we're going to see Mordor destroy Gondor. And Rohan. And all of the other stuff, but the dwarfs will fight back. That's going to be it for today. If you are liking the new series and you want to see more, please consider leaving a like, even a comment. Don't forget to leave your child name suggestions and also accolade name suggestions as well. But that's it for today. Thank you for watching as always. Happy New Year. I will see you next time.